legendary, so come through, baby.
Woo! Good evening. My name is Joseph Michael Ray Limas, and I won my 3rd grade geography bee.
Victory!
I also graduated high school with perfect attendance. All 4 years. And I graduated with the most credits in my class, like some super freaky nerd. I also had a crush on this dude in high school that I was too afraid to tell him about it. But sophomore year of college, he slid into my DMs, then drove 2 hours to my dorm room so he could
Jump on it!
I've had a lot of triumphs in my life.
Right.
Obviously. But nothing has really felt better than when I was finally able to answer the question, what do I want? My journey to arriving at that answer to that question actually involves School for Legends. Shout out.
School
Also,
for
happy
Legends
birthday,
is
School
the
for
place
Legends.
to be. Legends is the place to be. Happy 1-year anniversary.
So I told the story back in the spring of the man who lives inside of me.
Yes.
Yes, there is a man who lives inside of me. So this is a little bit of a review for those of you who were here, and those of you who are not here, welcome. I found out about this man who lives inside of me through a microaggression with this white man who I was working for in a restaurant about 3 years ago. And after this incident, I got angry, and the anger turned into heat in my body, and that heat turned on a light within me, and I saw this man inside of me. He's this beautiful, strong, mahogany, shiny skinned man.
Yes.
He's got a bald head, he's got 3 teeth. 2 of them are wood, and 1 of them is gold. And he lives inside of me in solitary confinement in a cone-shaped dungeon. The only thing in there is this wood and metal school desk that he sits at every single day. At the top of the dungeon, there's a small hole, and that little hole is the only place that light can come in. And with that light comes individual drops of water every single day, all day. And the water falls 150 feet down to the ground where he sits at that desk and waits for absolutely nothing at all. The walls used to be red in there, but you can't really see that anymore because of the humidity peeling the paint. And every time this man gets angry, he picks up the desk and he throws it against the wall, and the desk falls and he falls, and they just lay there until he can collect himself. Sometimes that takes months, sometimes that takes years, but when he can collect himself, he just writes the desk and he sits there and he waits for nothing. There are no windows, there are no doors, there is no way out. I had this revelation about a year ago that it was me who was in control of feeding him. It was me who was in control of nurturing him, that I was giving him drops of water instead of offering him a glass of water, that all he really wanted was my unconditional happiness, but I was out here navigating this white-dominated, patriarchal, racist, homophobic, religious world that we live in, and it was killing him on the inside. So I decided to go in, because he couldn't come out, but I could go in. And the beginning of me going in was standing on this stage at School for Legends back in May. The first part of me going in was telling his story. Since that time, I've been co-directing a residency at HB Studios on race, gender, and power. And I've invited a bunch of different artists to come in and find out who's inside you. And so it was amazing. It It was great. We were all feeling great. And then I was having one of those weeks where I was like, this is amazing. This is all great. Everyone's feeling great. And I got some drinks on Friday night. And then on Friday night, after I got home, I found myself in a puddle of my own fucking tears. And I'm like, what is this? What's going on with you, bro? So I checked in with the man inside me, who I'm getting to know at this point. I'm like, yo, what's up? Can't you see what we doing for people? Can't you see that we out here changing lives? Like, what's up? What's good? We're doing so much for other people. What's good with you? And I heard him clear as the fucking Liberty Bell tell me, what the fuck does that have to do with me? So I had to ask myself a hard question. That hard question. What do I want? And I couldn't answer it. I was like, spa day, vacation alone, slide in somebody's DMs, And so I had to dive deeper. I had to embody this man inside of me. I had to interview this man inside of me. I had to create a conversation that was much deeper with this man inside of me. And what that looked like at the time for me, it was as if I started, instead of giving him drops of water, I began pouring a pitcher of water down in that environment. And then I got a fire hose of water and started pumping it into his environment. But it wasn't water that was going to hurt him, but instead it was going to give him life, water that he could bathe in. And the more water I put in there, the more he was able to rise. He began to swim up closer to me, and now we're the closest we've ever been. And in my mind, the sun is not out, but I can see the sun shining off of his face and glistening off the water as we are now the closest we've ever been. We are face to face, and I don't know what to do, so I reach my hand in, and he's got both of his arms on mine, and I'm trying to pull him out, but I can't. So I look to the sky for help, and I scream, and when I look back, his face turns into my face. This whole time, I thought that this man inside of me, this angry black man, was someone else. But it was really just me underneath layer upon layer of this world of bullshit. So I was finally able to answer that question. What do I want? And I realized what it is that I want to every single day of every moment for the rest of my life continuously be falling in love with myself. And I'm not talking about this like self-love where it's like, oh my goodness, I love my skin and my smile is pretty and I look so good and my hips are amazing. No, I'm talking about reaching inside and grabbing myself, grabbing my teenage self, grabbing my grandparents and my ancestors and everybody, all of my pain and my triumph and my tragedy, and pulling all that shit out and truly loving it. That type of self-love, that shit is contagious. That shit leaves a residue that people can slide. And if you ever, and I mean this, if you ever find yourself sliding in my love residue, and you find yourself slipping and you about to fall, I will catch you because I love me so much that I gotta love you. So I'm gonna ask you, School for Legends, one more time again. Who? I ask you, who is inside you? Thank you.